that Christ had told his disciples is how you stop crime as a whole. Because when you go to him and him alone, and for you sisters out there who love the beef and who don't like to talk to another woman about, how she, treated you, you sisters need to go to her alone as well.
Nobody is holding you accountable for the things that you say you were doing or not doing. There's no, like the scriptures say, everything should be done in decency and in order.
That's right.
There's no order and decency with you going on the internet and running in the streets with no guidance, without being sent, without being anointed by the man of the Lord, by being sent by a man of God out there on them streets. You must be sent.
When you hear us say salute, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah, right? That is Hebrew. Okay? Shalom, Shalom, that is not Hebrew. I don't know where you learned that from. Most likely from Esau, from the Jewish. On the street corners. And we ain't selling dope, but we are teaching you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We are teaching you how to not be a drug addict and a drug dealer.
Right.
How to keep you out of prison. How to not make you a target for Esau to use.
Turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they on down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the Most High. He said, fuck that shit, he trying to sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I see did. A man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughters, one man in your bed, I won't stand for less. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile legs. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono try to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thuggin' with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endure to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak, cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down the ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
40 for the rapper, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head over, nigga. I pray what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jackie. So time war, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I came to do damage, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he said something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow sign, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Fuck what them bitches gotta say. I'm a woman where's a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't give a love fuck what them niggas gotta say. I'm a woman where's a nigga till they put me in the grave. I don't care about what they say. Hey. Fuck with my Akima, fuck with my sisters, then I got a problem, I'm never gon' miss you. I got 100 hanging out the AR, I got a 50 hanging out the pistol. He say it's corner, I'm just being realistic. I be on them corner posted with the realest. If it's the Sabbath, then we going fishing. I'm reeling them in, that's a God-given mission. I'm really on 10, but I'm stamped in the pistol. I get the order, be glad at this mission. Hebrew Academy graduate, nigga, training, put through the baddest conditions. I don't fuck with none but the baddest of bitches. She righteous, submissive, she glad to be with me. Had that thing Putin like Batman, niggas, she know I'm a prophet, she glad to be listening. Disrespect, I ain't having that shit, tell her go make some business from scratch. She bitchin' a different breed of black men. We don't do the back bend. I remember back when I was really trapping, trying to get the racks in, selling dope to black men. But now I'm trying to make it straight, like never get up out my face. We standing up straight, can't fold us. Too heavy, the world won't hold us. Go get you some rank, I told you. Line up in these ranks, we sold you. You can take that to the bank, we focus. How many times must we remind you? One body, one way, some break off, but never take off as a base. When the law with you ain't no up next, it's just us, nigga, that's that on that. All that weak shit, that ain't no threat. Say you won't beat, bitch, with that ain't no sweat. We with all that. The Lord called a nigga out the world, I responded and called back. Oh Lord, and everything that they stole from us, fuck that shit, we want all that. Them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, your hunter, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They Telling lies, switching up the doctrine, that's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. That's why we unaffiliated with them. I cannot fuck around with fake niggas. We taking ground when we in your city. You better hide the women, hide the liquor. Keep that bitch on me, please don't butt the system. Don't be a fool and be another victim. Say you a goon, you just another Christian. How you my brother, you ain't in here with me. We in the gutter, deep down in the trenches. We with them niggas locked up in the prison. Fucking Hispanic, Native American, Indian. We ain't just talking shit, but we living in it. We be everywhere, you can't miss it. And we be precious hell, take a picture. And we professional with the scriptures. Play, we gon' script, yeah, we some killers. These niggas tripping, they mind blown. Swear business, forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't get it pause when niggas say that they be looking for niggas to slide. The slide that I know about is when I assemble the group with the slide. For real, I get the order, you know that it's slaughter. See me and my niggas gon' die. The bigger the better for kingdom of heaven. You niggas get wet up by me cause I'm fed up. I rep UPK. My niggas won't let up. Got choppers, got nines, AKs, Berettas. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like, bitch, or whatever. You say you don't like me, you say you won't fight with what me and my nigga like. My nigga like them niggas snitching and they act like bitches. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They killing women and they fuck with sisters. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Come on the command and general, yeah, hunter, we unaffiliated with them. Like they tongue and they say they keep that shit 100, we unaffiliated with them. They telling lies, switching up the doctrine. That's why we unaffiliated with them. They ain't gon' ride until they die, so that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. See, they always ask us like, why y'all fuck with such and such? Why y'all won't come together with such and such? I be like, we unaffiliated with them. You understand me? Like, niggas be out here on some weirdo shit. And to be honest, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Hey, that's why we unaffiliated with them. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick that Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with them. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Send that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a stepper and a ruler. Hold up, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold up, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Niggas swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in they feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, it get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. ski mask, transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die. Skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one west, go to war with everybody.
Yeah. Cold shit.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my niggas, yeah. A minute, yo. Got my nigga Rawan with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding general, your honor. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown, I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, think you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it, ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit, yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid, number real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start steppin'. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we
Yeah, one thing I like to reiterate, you know what I mean, is the fact that how things are today, it would never be like this at all, ever, if the right people were in power. And when I say the right people, to most people it sounds funny, it sounds crazy, but niggas, if niggas had a righteous rulership, which is coming very soon once Christ does return, because, you know, honestly, I do believe that, you know, a nigga out of the Bible named Jesus Christ, otherwise known as Yahushua, will return soon once our enemies are, you know, in captivity. They decide to switch, not decide, but once the Lord allows us to get the kingdom, which is coming very soon, and put our enemies into captivity, then everything will be back to normal. Of course, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like America wasn't built in a day. All the captivities were not built overnight. It took some time. You know what I mean? It took quite some time, and it's going to take some time for us to get this place back. But I think in order to start planting the seed, we have to continue to get to the path of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? Like I came in, you know, I came in about 10, 11 years ago, but I still have, you know, I still have work to do. Everybody has work to do. And when we know that the work and the job is done, it's once Christ returns. Now, of course, we can die in this lifetime and come back because, you know, reincarnation, regeneration is a thing. If we pass away, if we die, just like anything, it does come back. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say, you know, that's really a great point, and we're going to dive more into that if you would like. But otherwise, I do want to say, you know, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatham to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar, Allah Bashem Yahushua to the sisters. All right, I am officer and priest, 5,000 Maccabia, out of Minnesota, Twin Cities. If anybody has any questions or concerns, you can type it into the chat. Okay, don't be afraid. We are not Christians. All right, this is not the Christian church. You can ask any question that you may have. All right. Let me see something here. And once again, as always, there's a lot to talk about. So much has happened. Everything always happening every day. But just to start off, do you have any questions, or do you have any other points at all? Okay. I'm sure you will in any second. No sweat, no sweat. Today's topic, as always, this is the Brotherhood class every Tuesday, where we speak about the issues and problems that plagues our communities. And when I say communities, I'm speaking to Black and brown people only. All right. So if you are so-called African American, Latino, or North American Indian, you are a part of the nation of Israel, and we have 12 tribes to be exact. And that's who I'm speaking to. All right. So once again, last week, Memorial Day just passed. And also, too, I believe last week was the 5-year memorial of George Floyd. So 5 years ago, as you know, May 25th or 24th to be exact, we had lost the life, a brother lost his life by the name of George Floyd. Now, of course, every year around this time, there's one side of the world that is going through hell and remembering that horrific day that brother lost his life by the hands of not just one officer, but the most famous one who unalived him, Derek Chauvin. And you have other officers that were, associated with the crime as well. But Derek Chauvin was the devil who had ended the life of George Floyd. Now, then you have the other side of people, mainly devils, mainly white people, who say that, who make a mockery of his death, and who say that he died from drugs and not being unalived by an officer at all. But of course, we have the autopsy, we have evidence that shows otherwise. But of course, it just shows and proves to you that, racism is very much alive. It has never went away. It has never died. And that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Otherwise, the white man, I like to say. One thing about the oppressor, he never fails to show who he is. But for some reason, we still have, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian people who cannot see this man for what he is. And this is why we have these classes. This is why we have the ISUK, so we can show who the son of perdition is. You know who the son of perdition is, right? Or at least have you heard that as far as the scriptures? Yeah. Right. See, now this brother right here who's in class, he says that he knows who it is. Now, I'm sure there are people that he know that don't know this information at all, which is the problem. How can you say that you I hear a lot of people always say this, right? How can you fight we are fighting the enemy, right? And I always ask people, who is the enemy? And they never say who the true enemy is, which is the oppressor. It's your boss. It's the people that make decisions on your life, who sit in a seat of power, it's the Congress, it's the presidents, it's the governments, it's it's let me guess, let me see. I mean, it's damn near everybody. It's the mailman. I mean, the oppressor is all around us, but we can't see them as the threat, as the enemy. It's your police force, it's the FBI, the CIA. I could go on and on, but the fact of the matter is, you have to know who you are dealing with, even your own people. Now, can you have enemies of your own nation, of your own race? Absolutely, but are they the ones that sit in power, that have authority and rule over your life? And 9 times out of 10, that really have power over your life, that controls money, that controls the media, all right, that controls, everything, every aspect of your life. Okay, if you think about it, the reason why you do and live your life is predicated based off of what you see. You know what I mean? Now, for example, if there wasn't any rules set in place, if there wasn't any rules set in place, you would live your life based on however you think or how you feel. But the reason why we walk the way that we talk a lot of times is because there's a system that is built up. All right, from when you're born up until when you die. All right, so that's something that we're going to dive into. So you say you have no questions? All right. Well, of course, if you have any input, you could definitely always, have, any comments at all. That's cool with me. Just if you could, just make sure you raise your hand. You got to go ahead.
I will say, just to add,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I might as well throw this out there, but
Yeah, you got to go ahead.
the United States Federal Reserves
Mm-hmm.
is, and its monetary policy is essentially what's governing the entire world to maneuver and act and be influenced to do things that it goes against possibly their nation's interests, or even if it looks good or not.
Yeah.
That's where like corporations come in and maybe suggest things that would go that your people would not be open to.
Mm-hmm.
So just to throw that into the list of enemies or things to look out for,
Mm-hmm.
is, yes, the Federal Reserves and its monetary policy governing basically everything.
So if you could break that down just a little bit more for somebody that is listening online, that quite wouldn't understand, but like I do understand what you're saying. Absolutely, 1,000%.
So just like, for example, we see today Donald Trump, or for the past couple of months, Donald Trump has been threatening tariffs and saying the word tariff continuously. But what hasn't happened is any of these tariffs. So the Federal Reserve is enjoying the fact that he's just speaking and threatening and making everybody in fear,
Right.
by putting out ridiculous tariffs.
Right.
But he's doing that just so he can stimulate the economy, to make people think that the prices are going to rise.
Yeah.
So it's better to spend money now.
Right.
And
Right.
so he's forcing people to inflate prices and all
Right.
this stuff. He wants people to think that tomorrow the prices are going to rise.
Yeah.
And how people spend their money because of these threats is causing the price to rise, because
Inflation.
So the U.S. Reserve doesn't have to make any moves. They don't do nothing. They just sit back and let Donald Trump talk. That's not normal for the Federal Reserves, but because Donald Trump is being a fool purposely, he's basically causing the inflation by essentially just lying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, that is also part of the game, of things to look out for, your enemy and how they play the game.
Right.
is going to be through those guys at the Federal Reserve who essentially would be defeated if we know that Donald Trump is lying.
Yeah, of course. And once again, like I'm glad you said that, because there are a lot of people who can clearly see that Donald Trump is just, I mean, he is full of shit. You know, I mean, all the things that he says and he does, like, he's just absolutely full of shit. He's an idiot. All right, he's a living cancer. But at the same time, though, just understand this too, right? Donald Trump he is not the big picture. He's not the biggest threat as far as the earth, as far as America. There are other that are literally behind the scenes. Of course, he is someone that is put into place. He's just a face. Now, of course, he has some type of power. Absolutely, I'm not going to take that away and say that presidents don't have power, but there are other people who are behind the scenes that have far more greater power than he does. But in the meantime, he is there just to play his part. Just like every president, every governor, politician, someone that is in everyone's eye view. Okay. But just to expand a little bit more on that, you have to recognize the distractions, the bullshit. When it comes to listening to Donald Trump and other people that are in his lane, in his profession. Okay. And also too, I mean, nine times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, they are going to tell you lies. And I think that's the biggest word, the key word that you just said, lies. And that's what white people do. They lie. That's where the term white lie comes from, because they created it. All right. But of course, if it comes from somebody with a great status, who has on a nice, suit, who I guess can speak well, it sounds true. Now, because of the tariffs, because of the deportation, everybody is in an uproar. Everybody's afraid. Everybody is concerned. And this, understand, every single year around the same time, have you noticed a pattern? When it comes to hurricane season, weather season, when it comes to a certain type of season, it's the same conversation all over again. And it's the same type of scare tactics, the same conversation, and it's the same game every single time. Also too, what I really find funny about voting, right? So as you know, as far as the stance of the ISUPK, we do not vote, right? And you might be wondering why. Because in the Bible, it tells us who to vote for and who not to vote for. Why should I vote for one devil and for another? Also too, Obama. Obama is not black at all. That is an African, and he has pride in that. And he tells you that. Anytime someone mentions that he is black, he always corrects people as far as who he actually is. You know what I mean? He's just a black face, but he is not technically black, in the sense of he's not an Israelite. All right, he is a Hamite, right? So even with Obama, he has he has a role to play. And as you see, when he was in office, he did nothing for niggas. Nothing. I mean, I ask people on the street all the time, you love Obama so much, you voted for him. What has he done for niggas? And the first thing that someone says is, well, he gave us Medicare. He gave us, Obamacare. He did this, he did that. And I'm like, damn, okay, Obamacare, right? Well, what is Obamacare doing for niggas right now? I don't even hear about Obamacare. I never even seen an Obamacare medical card. But is that the only thing that you can say that he did for us? Realistically, what has he done for black people? I mean, can you tell me?
No, he did typically what every other president does.
Exactly.
He crashed the economy.
He crashed it, exactly.
And inflated the prices. And deflated prices, so people were under on their homes.
Yeah. But now, however, though, in those categories that the brother just mentioned, who is high in those categories.
He did very well for Wall Street. Wall Street loved
White people. Yeah, when he says Wall Street, I hear white people. that translates into my head as white people, the rich, not the poor. And the poor, I mean, of course, there's poor any race of people, but I mean, the people who was at the bottom is going to be God's chosen people. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10. But yeah, like also too, I mean, last time I checked, I mean, oh yeah, it's June, right? June is Pride Month. Ooh, it's the month of the ABC community. You know what I mean? So Obama was famous for that too. He did everything for them, for the ABC community, the homosexuals. But when it came to niggas, it was there's not much I could do for y'all. I remember when Obama's campaign was about hope, and somebody did a picture, a side-by-side picture on the hood on the hoods of Chicago, and they talked about this is what give me 1 second. Someone had a side-by-side picture of the hoods of Chicago, right, and showed a picture of the buildings in the communities of Chicago when Obama was in office and after he left. The only thing that was different about the picture was that it was more dirtier. There was nothing, and the buildings were more run down. There was nothing different. Because I remember specifically in his campaign about having hope or hope or whatever, right? He said what he was going to do for the ghettos. And when he got into office, he was tongue-tied and said, well, you know, we're working on this, but we're having a barrier when it comes to this and this and the third. It was all a game. It was all for, this game that we play. And at the end of the day, when it comes to a president, they're already chosen before you put in your votes. It's called the Electoral College. You know what I mean? So when you try to choose a government, a president, or anyone to be in power, just understand that they already have been chosen. Like you think the people have power to choose who runs this country, who runs the earth? Absolutely not. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. And the tactics and how this system or the earth is ran today has always been like this in the previous captivities, the previous empires. Okay, when you look and do your research about the Babylonian Empire or the Roman Empire, it's very much the same. No wonder that they have the same gods, the same culture, the same way of life, everything. Also, too, when I first came to the ISUPK, one thing that blew my mind to let me know that everything is connected is looking at the symbols of all the empires. They're all the fucking same. Excuse my language. They're all the same. Down to your currency, down to your judicial, down to your government, your president, all of it. How you as far as the money too, like the money, like when it comes to taxes, when it comes to housing, just everything that you could think of. Okay, it's very much the same. It's just some things are now more modern, some things are more up to date, but the system is still the same. All right, but anyway, I digress on that. I do want to jump into Memorial Day. All right, that's something that I do want to dive into because it just passed, and I just want to know: do you know the history of it at all?
Memorial Day?
Yeah. Or if you don't, your thoughts on it.
It's been so long ago since I've learned the history, so I forgot the history.
Okay.
I've been through so long, I don't even recognize holidays.
No, I definitely understand that. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, shit. Myself, I gotta jog my memory. I gotta go back to the old research. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that I'm speaking about the right things, because a lot of the holidays, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's still nothing but noise and static when I look at it, but it still has some type of importance to it, so people know what they are getting themselves into. So yeah. Okay, so like, what is your thoughts on that day?
Memorial Day, I think it's a day where soldiers memorializing soldiers who lost their life for, I'm not too sure, Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
I don't know, or just all soldiers of that state.
I like that. Okay. Okay.
But my thoughts on it,
Yeah.
I don't think I think most Americans, European account for 10% of the population. So I'll just say, or population of Americans. So I'll say most Americans just care about the day off. They don't really know
Right.
or care about
Right.
what is going on. They just like that day off. If they get,
Yeah.
the only time I've seen people actually even have a day off, like Martin Luther King Day,
Yeah.
is white people. I see white people at the golf cart course
Yeah.
on Martin Luther King Day,
Right.
Because it's a holiday for them.
Mhm.
Most niggas working on Martin Luther King Day. We work in
Absolutely.
retail and things like that.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you on that. So yeah. So as far as Memorial Day, of course, and I'm glad you said that as well as far as Martin Luther King, because a lot of these holidays can just be looked at as a day of just wanting to kick back, relax. I ain't gotta work today. I don't have to go to my 9 to 5. I could just do me. And but now, however, I just found out. I literally just found out this year, because I've known about this day, but I just found out that Memorial Day is a holiday that actually came from Black people in some sense. And I'm going to dive into the history with this article. Now, one thing about history, history does not lie unless it's being told by, certain people. And I like to call them the oppressors who tend to lie a lot. Now, you do have some honest devils who will actually expose the truth about certain things. And, this is Time Magazine, and we know who runs Time Magazine. And you can find a lot of fabrication sometimes based on articles when it comes to Black and Hispanics. But, and I'm just going to go ahead and read a little bit of this. It says, 10 surprising facts about Memorial Day. Now, am I going to get into all 10? No. The main point I want to get into is where it actually comes from, or at least how it was started. So it says, Memorial Day is said, let me put it on the screen. Let me see. Okay, let me see something. Okay, boom. All right, so it says, Memorial Day is said to have started as a Southern holiday celebrating African American freedom. And it says, in May of 1865, thousands of formerly enslaved Black community members in Charleston held a ceremony and parade at the site of a former racetrack. The Washington Race Course and Jockey Club, where a reported 260 Union soldiers were buried in a mass grave. So that 260, right, is going to be very important in a second. They reburied the soldiers in individual graves, decorated the resting places, sang songs of freedom, and held a picnic afterwards. So let me see something. Hold on. I'm going to stop right there, right? This is what's important, okay? This day started off to honor the Union soldiers. Now, the Union soldiers of what war? Do you know?
The Union soldiers.
The year is 1865.
1865.
Mm-hmm. What was the biggest war at that time?
Civil War.
Say it again.
Is that the Civil War?
Okay. You got another one? No, I'm just messing with you. It was it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's it. Yeah. So in 1865, as you know, the biggest war would be the Civil War. And do you remember the conversations of how Black people were involved? Like, do you know any history at all about Black people being in the Civil War? Just anything.
Well, there's going to be a portion of this where I guess is I'm sure that there was slaves that wanted to fight on behalf of their version of freedom or their version of slavery in the North, and then the Southerners probably were forcing slaves to participate into the war. But that's how I would think that Black people would be participating into the war.
Right. Okay, I like that answer, and that's fine, because pretty much that's it. So the slaves, because as you know, this is 1865, right? So in 1865, around this time with the American Civil War, there was talks with the slaves about, hey, look, if you come and fight for us, this is what we are going to give you. Now, the thing about telling someone what they are going to get in exchange, you should always have a contract. Now, of course, when it comes to our oppressor, a contract doesn't mean a goddamn thing unless it benefits them, right? Because we can talk about the peace treaty or the treaties or the contracts between the native Indians and the white people, which once again there were over 100 contracts supposedly, but none of them was kept. All right, it's no different than a damn, or I mean today, like for example, like a damn NDA. All right, like that means nothing to the oppressor unless it benefits them. So I'm saying all that to say, there were talks to, with the slaves about, hey, look, if you come fight for us, this is what we are going to do in return for you. Of course, none of that happened. All right, none of that happened whatsoever, which is not a surprise, because even today, the same thing with the sharecropping. That was still slavery. They called it sharecropping just to put polish it up to make it seem like it wasn't slavery. You still have to pay the oppressor based off of what you made off of your crops, your harvest, but however, you had shelter, you had room and board, you still got a job, but you still got to pay a portion and give a portion of what you made. Yeah. That sounds like rent. That sounds like a 9 to 5.
That's how America holds it down.
Yeah, that's all I hear. I mean, I hear McDonald's, I hear Walmart, I hear Home Depot. Now, of course, we are in hell, so you have to work. I mean, you gotta do whatever you have to do to make money, to make ends meet, especially if it's for yourself or for your family. That's life, because we are in hell. So of course that has to happen, right? But now, once again, like, it just shows you that promise was not kept at all. Okay, so let me go back to this real quick, right? So where it says, so I'll read it again. In May 1865, thousands of formerly enslaved Black community members in Charleston held a ceremony and parade at the site of a former race track, the Washington Race Course and Jockey Club, where a reported 260 Union soldiers were buried in a mass grave. Now, these 260 soldiers are Black people, just to be exact, all right? Now, they were all buried in a mass grave. Good night. They reburied the soldiers in individual graves. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Okay, I don't want to go over that. I don't want to miss that part. It said that boy. All right, so just unpack that real quick. Let's paint the picture. 260 bodies of Black soldiers were buried in a mass grave. Do you know what a mass grave is?
It's one big pile.
It's one big pile of dirt, of an open spot with dirt.
Right.
And they just throwing all these damn bodies in there.
Yeah, one big hole. And
there you go, one big hole in the ground, and they just throw all 260 bodies in this one hole instead of giving them a proper burial. All right. So instead, the members of the black community said, you know what, F that, man. Let's dig up this mass grave and give each individual soldier, all 260, a proper burial. Which, I mean, man, like some bodies, right? So if you work in that field of dealing with dead bodies, I mean, you know, some are light, you know, some are heavy. I mean, 260 bodies. You have to re-dig up a body? That's hell, man. I mean, I couldn't imagine my dead body just being like okay, you laid me to rest, but you got to re-dig up my body to put me and rest in another spot, another place. Like that's hell, man. That is absolutely insane. Like, you can't tell me that our oppressor is not the problem. Like, come on, man. Like that is absolutely hell. And the strength of these men to even do that. And that shows you how black people just have compassion. They have empathy for one another. You know what I mean? To give them a proper burial, although their life is gone, they spirit has left that body. But because they have love for their own people, they did that. And that's something that I would have done. Why not? You know what I mean? Ain't no wrong with a little bit of dirt, hard work, you know. But also, too, another point that I want to point out on this as well is it says they reburied the soldiers in individual graves, decorated the resting places, which we do all the time. Every time we lose a loved one, a friend, a homie, whoever on the streets, we always decorate that street or that spot that they lost their life, right? That sounds like home. If you ask me, that sounds like every ghetto in America. The war, decorated the resting places, sang songs of freedom, and held a picnic afterwards. Now, just to think more modern and more, you know, how we think as black people. When I hear "Sing Songs of Freedom," I hear about the DJ. Just, you know, I mean, like, it's Memorial Day. It said picnics. I think about cookouts. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times on Memorial Day, what are black people doing? They're celebrating the lost lives of their loved ones. You know what I mean? You got somebody blasting the music as if they are the DJ, or if there is a DJ. You know what I mean? And they got the cookout in the backyard or at the park. Like, I literally just saw that this past weekend. I was riding by and I'm like, what day is it? I'm like, oh, it's Sunday. It's Memorial Day. Okay, I get it. Same thing with Veterans Day, right? You know what I mean? If you wasn't able to really celebrate anybody on that day, you know, you got Veterans Day as well. And, you know, what is it, November 11th? 12th? Something like that? Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yeah, I think it's always like the first week, second week. No, I think like the first or second week of that month. So, yeah, so, you know, someone's always going to crack open some beer, going to grill, and the entire earth is pretty much invited. You know what I mean? Say it again.
Capitalism Day.
Capitalism Day, absolutely, yeah. So that's what all of that is about. All right. Let me see if there's a little bit more. So it says the war was over, and Decoration Day had been founded by African Americans, and a ritual of remembrance of consecration, said Dr. David Blight. So also too, you know, it wasn't called Memorial Day at first, just like a lot of holidays weren't, right? They weren't called what is known as today, but it was called, you know, Remembrance, or I'm sorry, Decoration Day. All right. Let me see what else is on here. And that's it. And that's it. But however, what you will find as far as the American Civil War is that they partially thanked the slaves for their participation. But however, everything that they said, word of mouth, that they was going to do for the slaves, it never happened. And you shouldn't be surprised, because you have to know who your enemy is. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And let me show you a scripture that proves that. All right. This is one of my favorite scriptures that I've seen and live by. I mean, not live by, but I see it every day. All right. Let me see. This is the book of Psalms, right? Actually, do you mind getting this for me?
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. All right. And when you read it, if you could just read it loud and clear for the viewers to hear as well, I appreciate it.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Right. Just say it one more time.
He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him.
Now, once again, this is our oppressor. Our oppressor is not it's not a people who have peace. They don't even know what the hell that even means or what that is. You know what I mean? And they have stretched forth their hand, right? Is that what it says?
He hath put forth his hand
Right.
against such as be at peace with him.
Right. Like when I see this scripture, I think about the Trail of Tears. I think about Wounded Knee. Those, North American Indians, those brothers and sisters and children who, gave our oppressor open arms. You know what I mean? To see them as family and to help them survive those seasons, who fed them, who clothed them, and offer them just to be unalived, and their nation, in their culture to be wiped away. And that was their way of saying thanks. And speaking of thanks, they created a international day called Thanksgiving, which is absolutely disrespectful, disgusting, and a slap in the face to the North American Indians. Now, however, if you are a so-called Black and Latino who celebrates that day, you are no different than the oppressor. You are just like your father, who was the devil. And why is that? Because only a traitor, only someone who has no soul would do something like that. And if you do not know, North American Indians are family to Negroes and Spics and wetbacks. If you did not know, but now you know. Keep going on that.
He hath broken his covenant.
Oh yeah, he has broken his covenant. All right, he absolutely has broken his covenant. That's why it's very important to put things on paper in today's time, but at the same time, though, you got to have a backup, man, because these devils will try it on you every single time. If something doesn't go their way, oh well, that contract is not valid. It's because of this, because of that. Like, you got to be careful, man, who you are dealing with. And just like me and the brother was talking about earlier before the class started, there are going to be so many distractions, but you have, in order to fight your enemy, you got to know who the hell he is. It doesn't make sense to say, oh, well, we're going against this battle with this enemy. Well, let me ask you this. Who is the enemy? And if you say it's Pookie down the block, then I just know that you are distracted, that you cannot see what is right in front of you. All right? Every day that you walk outside, you should realize who you are dealing with. And you know what's so crazy? There's an article about how slavery is still embedded in Black people today. And Black people today, even if you don't know that the white man is the devil, it's something in your mind that makes you submit, that makes you want to be submissive, that makes you want to be kind and compassionate to white people. And that's something that we can all be honest about, right? It's something in us that makes us feel like we are under them almost. You know what I mean? Like for a lot of us. But you have to fight against that. So even if you were not enslaved like your ancestors were, that's still in your DNA. And white scientists have found that is the true thing. And how we know that is true? Because it's no, sir, yes, sir. When you get pulled over, you're damn near having a panic and anxiety attack when you get pulled over. As soon as you see someone with a badge, you get frightened. Your heart goes down to your damn boots. As soon as you get into some type of legal trouble, it's like your mind just races. You feel like it's the end of the world. That's because of slavery. But now, when it comes to the truth of the Bible and you understanding your enemy, what you're going to find is how to combat that. how to change your mindset, change the way that you live, to change the way that you think, and to know who you are dealing with. So that way you can avoid that target that it seems to always be on Black, Hispanic, and Indians' backs. All right, because if you give this devil a opportunity, he's coming for you. He's waiting for you. He's waiting to take your life and to destroy you and everything that you are. Any existence of you, he wants to destroy. And we see it all the time. All right. So once again, like, just like the brothers and sisters who fought, those brothers who fought in that war, it was all for nothing. It was for the gain of America and not for you. Because at the end of the day, you were still back picking cotton. You were still being hung on trees. You were still being abused. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a lot of brothers that's in prison now, before they go to prison, they get that letter, or just they see a letter that says United States of America versus their name.
Boom. Absolutely.
Or the state of Minnesota versus,
Yeah, this plaintiff. Right. Yeah.
So that you have to be knowing that at any point in time that your name could be there for some ridiculous lie or something that they do, and they can pay themselves out with no problem, right? I'm sure Donald Trump was a hint of fair, but he had the money. When he went against, when he was dealing in New York, Georgia, he had the money.
Right.
But us, when we see this United States of America and your name on it, it puts you in fear. You can't be put in fear. Not at all. Right.
And absolutely, I'm glad you said that. Also, too, I mean, we would never be in those situations if only we, once again, I say this almost every damn class, and it sounds redundant, but I have to say it because, I mean, we wouldn't be in a situation of captivity if only we fought more for what the Lord wanted for us. Instead, the reason why we are in captivity is because we did whatever our flesh told us to do. We followed after things that was not of the Lord. So it's very simple in the sense that the Most High said, look, do this and don't do that. And one thing about the Lord is he doesn't have to explain himself. Like I love how the Bible is very detailed, and like what you see in the Old Testament and the Apocrypha in the New Testament, it's all saying the same thing, meaning that it's reiterating the same thing. When you look at Christ, a lot of the things that Christ is speaking and saying to the Sadducees and Pharisees, to brothers and sisters, as far as the multitude, and to the disciples, he's really saying the same shit that Moses said, that Ezekiel said, Jeremiah, all the men before him, and vice versa. And at the end of the day, these words come from the Lord, and that's all that is being reiterated and said. And why do you have to tell a Black person, a Hispanic, a Native Indian, something 1,000 times over and over again? It's because we are a stiff-necked people, and we are going to be a people that forget what? Our culture, our language, our moral compass. That's why we have to reiterate it until this job is done. Until Christ returns, that's when you know that our job is done. Go ahead.
Kind of reminds me of like Saul and then Christ.
Right.
Saul, he got himself into a position. It's kind of like Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump was being attacked, but either way, Saul got himself into a position to be king over Israel. Right. That ended up having prophets getting killed. Right. So it's almost like a wicked man gets into position, and the people who uphold the law are the ones that get killed. Later, we see Christ get into a position where he is trying to uphold the law, or is upholding the law against the nation who now has a foreign authority assisting them on basically going against their law to then kill Christ,
Right.
And put him on the cross.
Right.
So, yeah, if we would uphold our own laws, we would not be putting prophets in position, but that also puts us in position as prophets.
Right.
And then it's that cycle where, like we were talking about before, with social media,
Right.
we was to discuss the law with these people who are convincing others to
do this, do that. Yeah.
Break our laws.
Right. Exactly.
Our
Yes.
customs.
Yes.
Then those people are going to be parading you for your downfall. They're praying for your downfall, right? And our people, we see our people call CPS and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to have that battle with each other. So,
right. No, I agree. And actually, if I could, no, I just want to give you a hand because that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. I'm glad you said that because that's exactly where I'm going to drive it home. It's taking me a little time, so that, I trying to give it to everybody. I ain't trying to get it all at once. You feel me? But no, that's it. That's really it. And actually, I got a scripture for that. I'm glad you really said that because I'm like, damn, like he must know where I'm going. You know what I mean? But that lets you know that me and you both are on the same page, or otherwise, I like to say it biblically, like we are one body, right. Meaning that we have the same mind and we both are on the same page. In other words, right? And so, if you could, so I know we a little crunch on time, so I want to get through some of these scriptures. Can you read that one more time from the top?
He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. Right. So once again, this is Psalm 55:20. And so once again, this scripture proves to show that our oppressor, he doesn't keep his word. He doesn't keep his promise. He doesn't play by the rules. I mean, why would he? Because to understand your enemy, like for example, specifically, is going to be the oppressor. There's nothing humane about this person. So you should not look for it. Like I love the word civilized, right? Or civil. And I laugh all the time when people talk about what is civil, what is not civil, right? And it always comes out of the mouth of these devils. And my thing is, how do you expect any type of peace, any type of love, compassion, or fairness from a people that are not civil? And once you understand and get that drilled into your head that these are people that don't even know what the hell that even means for real, then you know how to deal with them for real. Okay? Now, does that mean that you should be a people that meets them on their level to be inhumane or to be cruel and be crooked? No, absolutely not. But however, you need somebody to support you. You need somebody to have, to help you in order to defend, or in order to be protected by these devils. Meaning this, right? You have something to stand on. What's the quote about if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything, right? So this is what we have to stand on, because everybody's been talking about standing on business for how many years? A couple of years now. Like that's still a famous thing that Black people like to say, standing on business. Well, our business as God shows the people, Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, if that's you, right? Our business is to do what the Lord told us to do. Why? Because of times like this. Times like this where Black and Hispanic people are losing their life unjustly, unruly. It's the time to stand on business of these laws, statutes, and commandments. Once again, you can either follow the laws of the Most High or follow the laws of the land. Okay? Which, a lot of the laws of the land are really, I'll say this, the laws of the oppressor. Because the laws of the land are simple. It's just like the Bible. In the sense of, don't steal, don't kill, don't rob, don't do X, Y, and Z, right? Simple things, right? But you can either serve the Lord, listen to him, or listen to the oppressor. And at the end of the day, you are going to find out, whether you make the right decision or the wrong one. Okay? I do want to get, can we get Proverbs 29:2? Because based on what you just said a second ago is exactly
pretty much the embodiment of the scripture right here. Yeah, Proverbs 29:2.
Proverbs 29, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is not today. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Like can you imagine a world of every like this entire place is just at peace. Like how amazing would it be to wake up and not have to worry about being robbed today, being unalive today. You gotta like as Black and Hispanic people, our life is not really as peaceful. You know what I mean? Like you gotta worry about, am I going to be a hashtag? Am I going to be on a T-shirt today? You know what I mean? Like I gotta check and make sure that I don't got nothing on me to where I get jacked today. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I was going to say society, but mostly white, European white people in modern times have created this, if you look at just the commercial of security, they make it seem like it's comfortable, as if you need to live in a world where you need to lock your doors, lock your cars, lock everything. So essentially, you live in as much, you're almost living in a cage.
Exactly.
You're living in a
Yes.
jail cell.
Yes.
They need to put cameras everywhere. They need to feel secure,
Right.
which then takes your freedom away.
Right.
And then, of course, you need to take of course, there's people who take advantage of other people's freedoms,
Right.
because of how they've destabilized so many living conditions, like the Native Americans and their feeding grounds, their hunting grounds, their the lands that they grow their crops naturally.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll give you a hand. I like that. And that's the point that I was getting to, because once again, like you said, society today is where you are in a cage, physically, mentally, to the point where I'm glad you said about the locked doors, because I was gonna touch on that just a little bit. So I find it funny how Black and Hispanic people we have this mindset that we have to be like that. You know what I mean? And now of course, once again, in a sense, you kind of do have to be like that now, because you don't just want to leave your doors unlocked and based on where you live. Honestly too, I would lock my damn doors in even white neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't trust them. You know what I mean? Like, they are criminals, are they not? And that's sad. And that's sad because sooner or later there is going to be a time where the righteous are going to be in authority, and the people will rejoice. Or rejoice at what exactly, though? That there's no wickedness. Now, it sounds impossible. It sounds crazy, because we live in a time where we have to take precautions for every single thing. Because who rules? If it's not the righteous, then who is ruling right now? It's the wicked. And that's the next part. I want you to grab that real quick. It's the next verse.
But when the wicked beareth rule, people mourn.
Yeah, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right now, I don't think no one's happy. No one's happy. Everybody is absolutely in pain and suffering. We are in hell. It's what I like to call it. Christians talk about dying, going to heaven or going to hell. Shit is already here. Where can you go besides where you're at now? When you die, your spirit just goes to the Most High, and He judges you until He brings your ass back. That's it. You are being recycled back into a whole new body. That's it. But if you're looking for heaven or hell, it's already here. It's a state of it's a condition. All right. People say it all the time. People that are rich and rich and famous, they have a sense of paradise. They always say it. Like I'm living on paradise. You know what I mean? Paradise can be a damn island. It can be a state of heaven. It can be what's good right now. And then sometimes you're in hell, meaning everything is just falling out of place. You're in jail. You $50,000 in debt. You know what I mean? Everyone's dying around you. Like that's hell. Okay? You can't get a job, you're homeless, you ain't got no car, you ain't got no money, you ain't got nothing. That's hell to most people, right? So it is a condition, it's not a place. If you're looking for it, you're not going to find it. However, it's right in front of you. It's in your household. All right? All those drugs, all the alcoholism. All the child molestation. You named all of the, the constant bickering and broken homes. That's hell. However, your oppressor, is living deliciously. We're in the suburbs. Okay? All right, so actually, I want you to drop that. That's really the damn point on that. I can go all day about that. Let me see. Okay, I want you to get Isaiah 59 and 14. And I want to get off of, I was already off of that topic anyway, Memorial Day. The topic that I want to go into now next is, so this is the year 2025, right? And during Memorial Day, as far as that week, we also had there's also something very popular, which is George Floyd. All right. His memorial, his legacy, I guess you could say, or his remembrance, right? Which was, I believe, May 24th or 25th of this year. And it's been 5 years later. So May of 2020, as we know, is, a very horrific time that happened to the brother, where he lost his life by someone by the name of Derek Chauvin, right? Who's currently doing supposedly 22 years behind bars and who was charged for the murder of George Floyd. Now, 5 years later, my question is, what has changed as far as what happened to George Floyd? What has changed in Minnesota? What has changed in America as a whole? Or better yet, what has changed on the police force? Because even after, all the way up to today, even after George Floyd lost his life, and up until today, nothing has changed at all. How do we know? Because more Black and Hispanic Native Indians have lost their life. It has been advertised through the airwaves, all throughout social media. And then there are even stories right now that we're now just finding out about that happened years ago that's getting media attention. The thing is, we are still a byword and a proverb. Our enemies are still making a mockery of this brother who lost his life 5 years ago, and they're still making a mockery of him today. Like I have this app on my phone, right? It's called Newsbreak, where I just get all my daily news from my own state and other places as well. And every time I go to the articles that are associated with George Floyd, you got people who are reacting to it with laughing emojis, and then you have comments that say, "I can't breathe," just totally making a joke out of his death, and people just lying saying that he died from the fentanyl. And once again, it tells you, it lets you know that nothing has changed. And one thing that has to change about Black, Hispanic, Native Indians is that your oppressor will always be the devil that the Bible speaks of. And we have to throw away equality. Equality is not something that exists and never will. And the proof of this is very simple, right? Let me ask you something. So, in the ISUPK, we have a rank system, right? Okay. So for example, I'm the highest ranking officer, and just the highest ranking officer as far as the rank system. Because you got so first you got a student, which is you. You have a student, which there's no rank, and then you have a trooper, which is no rank. But then the rank starts with an officer, going all the way to a general. So with an officer, you have an officer of 50, 500, 1,000, and then a 5,000, right? So let me ask you a question. With all the ranks I just mentioned of an officer, is there equality? Why is that?
Because there needs to be, order. There needs to be order, and there needs to make sure that there's upbringing to get to that next rank. Right. Now, is there equality on the job? There's equality to offer to particular officers of the same rank,
Mm-hmm.
but then you can be outranked, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Because somebody can be the same rank, but there's at the end of the day, there's still someone who has to who gets the last say so. You feel me? So even on the job, you have employers of different types of positions, right? So I say all that to say there's no equality at all. And one thing that Black and Hispanic people have to look for, they have to stop looking for is that. They have to stop looking for the change of heart from the enemy, from the oppressor, because it's never going to happen. Like the civil rights movement is really a joke. And I know it was started after the horrific the most horrific tragedy ever that happened to Emmett Till, right? I know that sparked the civil rights movement. That was one out of many things that sparked it. But at the end of the day, like it's what we should fight for is fighting for Black and Hispanic people to separate ourselves from the oppressor and really get back to what the Lord told us to do. Because what that ultimately is going to do is we are going to have our own army. Give me 1 second, I'm going to get to you. We are going to have our own army. We are going to have our own system that nobody can touch. And we are going to be at the top. Go ahead.
I was going to say about equality.
Uh-huh.
You can tell that it doesn't exist because even though a certain group of white people will discuss equality, but majority of the discussion has to do with reforming.
Yes.
And reforming was pretty much the whole main thing prior to slavery.
Yes.
It's like, well, let's not separate the slaves, let's keep the slaves together.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that brought actual change was the revolting and the continuance of revolts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But also too, I do blame. I always gotta blame Christianity, right? Because first things first, Christianity does come from the oppressor. It comes from man. It doesn't come from God, because there is no religion when it comes to the Most High. Like if you understand what religion is, and you look at the Bible, it doesn't match. But however, when you're indoctrinated by Christianity, religion as a whole, you read the Bible with a Christian lens. Okay, just like anybody. Now the thing is, equality comes from that. All right. Now it was one point in time that Black people knew, Hispanics and Native Indians knew that there was no such thing as being equal with these people, because they don't even believe in that. Nothing in them says equality. Okay. The closest that they're going to say out of their mouth, even though they don't believe it, is that we all bleed red. We're all the same people. But I mean, animals bleed red too. Shit, last time I checked, goddamn, like, have you ever seen an animal bleed out to death? Like they bleed red too. So are you saying that we are the same as them? Because that would be a crazy ass conversation. It would be very pointless. But just because we bleed red, we are the human body or humans or whatever like that, doesn't mean that we are the same. Because the Lord, one thing about the Most High, He separates people. He separates everything. He is holy. The word holy means separate. All right. To be holy means to be set apart. Okay. And those people are not that. There's nothing holy or righteous about these people. And that's why the Lord separated us in the womb. When it talks about Jacob and Esau, the angel told Rebekah, Isaac's wife, that there are two manner of people in your womb. Now that's very specific. It doesn't say that there are two manner of people. When you break it down, it's two different people. All right. Okay. So now that's very important, because you realize, okay, one is this and one is that. And as you see the story of Jacob and Esau, you start to see like, oh, okay, these are, although they are twins, they are not the same. This one represents this over here, the other represents that over there. And that's what you start to see up until now. Although we were once in the same womb, we are two different people. All right. So 5 years later, with the death of George Floyd, nothing has changed as far as police brutality. There is no love, in the hearts of devils when it comes to Black and Hispanic people. And also, too, you want to be very, very, very careful. Don't take mercy from your enemy as love. All right. Like it was this one white lady. I have to find this video. It's this one white lady. I'm sure you probably saw this video somewhere on YouTube. It's this white lady who used to be a professor, and she talks about and she she likes to debunk racism. And one thing that I loved about what she said is, she said although she tried to fight against racism, she says she has to fight herself every single day because she knows it's embedded in her DNA. You feel me? Like that was the most powerful thing I ever heard in a long time. I mean, the most honest and powerful thing I ever heard. One out of many things, right? Or a few, I should say a few, because not a whole lot comes truthful out of the mouth of these devils. But it was very interesting that she said that, because this is a devil who knows herself, and she knows her people, and she knows that inherently they are racist. Even if she never enslaved anybody, any Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, she knows that the tactics, the DNA, the makeup of racism lives in her. And that's what every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian should know. So you know how to deal with them. All right? Like that's very simple. And once again, what happened to George Floyd, man, has happened to many brothers and sisters. But in order for that to stop and for that to never happen again, we have to come back to the source. Everything has a source. If you want to stop what happened to George Floyd, Philando Castile, Jamar Clark, all we have to do is go back to the basics. Go back from the start. Let's go back to when Moses said, and the Lord told me to tell y'all niggas this, right? Y'all niggas need to keep the law, statutes, commandments. If y'all don't, this is what's going to happen. Like that's literally what happened. Like he literally told us, okay, this is what's going to happen in chapter 28 of Deuteronomy. He said this is what's going to happen if we do not hearken to the Lord. Okay, cool. No sweat. You know what I mean? Now this is what will happen if we do listen to the Lord in the 27th chapter. And it's just like it's so plain, it's so straightforward, but we have to fight for that. Instead of just trying to march and protest, which is not going to get you anywhere. Because once again, they started that in the civil rights movement. Have we made any progress? It's been, over 60 years? Nothing has changed. You want to know why? How do we know nothing changed? Because we're still marching.
Right.
I would think at one point in time, your feet should get tired. Your voice should be hoarse. There should be no more police brutality. So nothing hasn't changed. So what is the solution? Because Black Lives Matter was proven that they were not the solution, and that they started out as a lesbian, a homosexual. It started off based on homosexuality. Because when you first went onto the website of Black Lives Matter, it was about the women and the children only. And they were stealing. You didn't know that?
No, I knew that.
Yeah, right. But of course, they quickly changed it on the website. And then also, too, they just got busted like maybe a couple of years ago. And this is very recent. They just got busted for fraud as far as the money that was being funded. So, Black Lives Matter is a joke. The civil rights movement is a joke. The women's right was all a joke. All the marching and protesting has came to nothing. And also, too, the Bible does say, my son, I'm paraphrasing, my son, live not a beggar's life. One thing that you should not do is demand peace, demand anything from the oppressor, the one that is oppressing you. Because what is that going to do? It's going to make him oppress you more. One thing that I noticed, a man above me, he made me realize something. He said, the more that we dance, the more that we sing, the more that we are submissive to our oppressor, the more he hates and he kills us. And that shit, like that shit blew my mind away. Because I'm like, damn, that makes sense. the more that you try to please them or try to be on their level, they hate you more. They hate you more. Go ahead.
You look at like sports,
Uh-huh.
how
Yes.
we've gotten so integrated into the halftime shows and stuff like
Yes.
that. You think white people want to watch Beyonce dance for about a whole hour? They want
Right.
to see they came to see black men play sports,
Right.
and now they got to see all this extra. You're like, how much money did Kendrick Lamar witness around in the stadium?
Right.
I mean, it's unaffordable to go to the Super Bowl nowadays.
I was about to tell you, yeah,
And,
damn
now,
right.
and so all his audience, and I mean, congrats to him for really playing white people in their face, but still, it's like that's what it is. They don't like you. So,
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, if you know they don't like you, dance to really bring it to them. But I would go a little harder.
No, that's I agree with you, and that's why once again, like us in the ISUK, like I mean, you got some brothers and sisters who sing, who dance, who rap, who have many talents and different things, but we're not selling ourselves short, and we're still staying true to what this is all about. That's the point of that for sure. You know what I mean? Because once you are in the faces of these devils, it's really about money. At the end of the day, but I mean, I get that Kendrick. Like, I like Kendrick a lot. I like his music. It's cool. But at the same time, though, I understand where he stands, and I understand where I stand.
Right.
You feel me? It's a difference. I just like the music. I'm not into the whole makeup of his life.
The subtleness.
Right. Yeah. I don't look for him. I don't look to him for the truth and this, that, and the third. Like, I mean, to me, Kendrick is not on my level in the sense of knowledge and waking up the people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He does what he does, good, great, stuff like that. But I don't look for them when it comes to this type of thing. Right. It's just music and that's it. It's just music and that's it.
Just music,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you got some people that really, really worship these celebrities where they're like, oh my God, I can't believe he's with so and so. I can't believe they did that. Like, you're too invested into their life. It's like you don't even know these damn people. All you know is just the music and that's that. All right, or they acting. But no. What I really want to touch on, let's get to Isaiah 59. All right, if you still got it.
14?
Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Isaiah 59:14.
Mm-hmm.
And judgment is turned away backward.
Uh-huh.
And justice standeth afar off.
Now, the reason why I pulled this scripture is because judgment is turned away backwards, meaning that it never works in the benefit of, it never works in the benefit of Black and Hispanics at all. And I have to keep saying that is because show me where it has. And I'll wait. I'm willing to listen. You know what I mean? I don't like to just talk. I do like to listen as well. And if you don't know that, you should know that. And also, too, with Derek Chauvin, the reason why, let's be honest, right? And the judge pretty much said this without saying it. The reason, why do you think Derek Chauvin was hit with those charges?
Only because we was just as loud as the media.
They're giving him that. That's it. Because if all the riots were not happening the way it was, I'm talking about it was happening, so it was such a problem, such a controversy, that it was happening in the States and outside of this country. So if that never happened, not even nine times out of 10, it's 10 times out of 10, that devil would have walked. He would have walked. Because how many do? Damn near all of them. And then you know what? When they do get fired, they end up going back. If they're not a police officer, they are in a different type of office within the force. I'm sorry, within the department.
They'll be in another state doing the same job.
Exactly my point. Because, man, who is the woman? Oh, that devil woman. I forget her name. Man, I forget her damn name. the woman that unalived Ahmed, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forgot her name.
Yeah, the brother that was jogging.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, is that the woman that did it? Ahmed? Damn, it's like hold
I
on.
forgot. I don't know her name. I don't know her name at all, but I remember that. It was in the South, right?
It was in the South. Yeah. I want to say yeah. Hold on. Damn. Oh, Ahmed Aubrey. And let me see. No, you know what? That was a man that killed him. I'm sorry. Damn, it was a woman. Was it Breonna Taylor? Okay, I would say this right. Damn, it was a woman who had unalived one of the brothers or sisters out there, right down south, and she's still in the police department, but she works as something else. Like I think she works like the paperwork. At the desk or something like that, but she's not classified as a police officer at all, no more. But it's so funny because it's like you get fired, but some way somehow you still are able to work in this department, but you're not a officer anymore. You're not a sergeant, you're not a deputy, and this lets you know like once again if they took it so serious because the police department is about the law, right? They are very anal about it. They're very particular, and they go supposedly they are righteous about the damn law and how you should never break it in any form of fashion. Okay, when they break the laws all the goddamn time, right? They are very lawless in the law, and they still have you stick around. You are still accepted. You are still honored in some way, some fashion or form. You know what I mean? And this is very, very disgusting. It just lets you know who really is pulling all the cards and calling the shots. Like, once again, like, you can't tell me that these people are not disgusting and diabolical. That's why, once again, we call them the devil. Because the word devil means liar, which they do lie. But also, too, the word devil, when you look at the definition, it means evil. Like, these are some people that are not a people. I mean, the Most High said that he will anger Israel with the people that are not a people, and that's them. All right. Last time I checked, people actually have some type of humanity about themselves. Like, what would possess a police officer to try to unload his entire clip on one person that was not armed? What would possess a officer to put his knee on someone's neck? I do understand a knee on the back. I have heard of that before, but a knee on the neck? Go ahead.
I seen just the other day a clip of officers finding a dead body somewhere off in a wooded area, and when they found the body, they were about to. One of the officers, maybe both, were about to get off shift.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, let's leave this one alone and have somebody else come in and call it in. Because if we do this, we're going to be here for a few hours.
Right.
So it's like, and the other officer went along with it.
Right.
So that's what we're dealing with. It's just these people don't even like their job when they're at it. This is the job they chose, essentially to do evil. Like some clan members, love this job.
Yeah,
the propaganda that goes into getting other races in the job. Like there's movies for police officers. You watch that because you're bored. Next thing you know, you inspired. Same thing with like as soon as Trump came in office, there's gonna be so many movies about army men and brotherhood. That's all they're gonna feel. White people are gonna love that brotherhood that comes through that screen through the army, just so they can go ahead and have some people signed up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, honestly, no. I think there is a lot of movies that are pretty popular right now. Actually, I mean, I do watch some of those movies just to get an idea of certain things and do my research and stuff like that. Like I do like those type of movies. I mean, it's very interesting. Now I would never join on shit like that. Absolutely, I joined the army. I made my choice over here. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not fighting for this damn empire. Absolutely the hell not. But I do like to watch those type of movies, so I do know what you're talking about. And yeah, man, like once again, like I can't stress enough like how evil these people are. But once again, like 5 years later, the question I always ask is, what's changed? Nothing has changed. Like the only thing that will is once we know who the son of perdition is, and we get back to our roots. I keep hearing that word a lot as of recently. Roots, roots of the ancestors, stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you this: our ancestors knew who the devil was at one point in time. I look. Not everybody was an Uncle Tom. All right, not everybody was a Sambo, a Jigaboo, however you want to say it. There were wise men and women and children of our ancestors who knew who the hell the enemy was. And instead of sticking with the enemy, they stuck with each other, their own. And one thing that they would tell you, actually, I'm going too far. Actually, I want this to be the last scripture. I'm going to drop Isaiah real quick, just for now. Let me get this scripture, man. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. I'm going to close it out with this, because this right here is perfect.
Deuteronomy 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old.
Consider the years of many generations.
Now, I'm going to stop you right there just real quick. Just to dissect. When it says remember the days of old, right? Just remember the things, the people, the time frame before you, right? So just go back in time in your mind and just think about what was going on in the times of, Deuteronomy. Now, Deuteronomy would be BC because this is before Christ, okay? And of course, I can dive into that another time as far as historical information, as far as when some of the records were actually written and who was around at the time and who wasn't, right? So at this time, this is Moses, because Moses wrote the book of Deuteronomy, right? So in this time, we were where? Do you know? In the time of Moses,
we left Egypt. I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly what position, but we left Egypt.
Right.
In the wilderness.
Yeah. So around this time, we are, in Egypt, or we are about to leave. I don't think we leave into Exodus, actually.
Deuteronomy?
Yeah. In Deuteronomy, we are still in Egypt.
Okay.
Because in Exodus, I believe Exodus comes right after. So by Exodus, getting closer to like the 10th chapter is when we head out. All right. So around this time, of course, this is Moses speaking, saying, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. So, one thing that we have to understand is that we knew who we were as a people, and we knew who we were not. Also, too, in the book of Exodus, it tells you that, the Egyptians even knew who the hell you were. They knew that there was a separation, there was a difference, is what the Bible says. There was a difference between the Hebrews and the Egyptians. So we knew who we were as a people. And we knew that, of course, we were in captivity and who the enemy was. Today in 2025, if you ask any Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, who is the real I? Who is the real problem? They can't tell you. They tell you their own people. All right? They might single-handedly tell you it's probably one white man, one white woman, but at the end of the day, we have to understand who runs this world. Just the other week, I brought out how the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The Bible says that. And mind you, this book is as old as all of us. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You got to ask yourself, who is the wicked? Who is the one that is in power? Who is the one that actually possesses this earth? Who makes all the rules? And I really like to ask a lot of people, like, who is somebody that is most protected in the earth? I want to ask you that, actually, if you don't mind. Who is the most protected person in the earth?
Person that's in the race, European, white person.
White people. I really like to say the Jewish, because the Jewish people run all of this shit.
Yeah, the Jewish people, white people.
Which are white, yeah, which are white. You know what I mean? They run all of this. They control all of the currency. They control space. What happens? What operates? You know, as far as the whole space. They control that. They control the earth. They can so funny. They have different countries, right? But the Jewish control all of that damn shit. You know what I mean? So even Russia, man. When I think about Russia, when I think about China, at the end of the day, everybody has to answer to this white man. All these countries have to answer to this devil. They run this. They control this. I had a black person tell me that black people run all of this, and the reason why we run all of this is because everybody follows us. We are the trendsetters. I get what you're saying, but that's not correct. now, do we set the standard for certain things? Absolutely, yes. Right? Okay, I got you on that. But do we really have power like they have power? Do we have a military? Do we have a police force? You know what I mean? Because honestly, the purpose of police, right? So like in the Bible, the Levites, the Levitical priesthood would be the police. The lawyers in the Bible would be police because they are the ones who are they are policing the people to make sure that they keep the law, right? But the police that we have in today's time is old tactics, slave tactics of slave catchers and slave patrols. In the Bible, back in the time of the Levites, that was not the case. Now, of course, if you broke the law, you would be brought on charges, yes. But it was never a case where people are being unalived unjustly. There was justice when it came to the Levites and to the lawyers, all right? Like the shit that's going on today is absolutely unjustly. That's something like if Christ and all of the disciples, if Christ and the 144,000 men, the government was in rulership, what happened to George Floyd would never have happened. And also, too, there would not be any white people policing the laws because they would not be in power. They would be under us. All right, they would be in captivity. Okay, so that like once again, like we have to get back to what. I mean, we have to get back to the source because again, without us having our moral compass, everything falls. There's going to be more George Floyds. There's going to be more Sandra Bland's, Breonna Taylor. Okay, and that, even that story of Breonna Taylor, her unalivers were acquitted, and the judge had only charged the officers involved in that shooting. They only charged them with the bullets that did not go into Breonna Taylor. I'm not kidding at all. These cops got charged for the bullets that went elsewhere. And the judge said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna charge you with it's very unfortunate that she lost her life, but I'm going to charge you officers with the bullets that went elsewhere." So initially, what she's saying is, I'm not going to charge you for the murder of this woman, but I am going to charge you for the bullets that could have potentially unalived somebody else. Like, God damn, like, are you like I thought I was losing my mind when I saw this on TV. I said, so this judge just said that we're not going to charge you for a murder that was clearly a murder, but we are going to charge you for a potential murder where these bullets could have hit somebody else. Like, you can't tell me that this is not real. And then again, we got our own people who question us and say that we are a hate group, say that we don't love white people, and that we are wrong and God loves everybody. Well, let me tell you, man. Give me a reason why I should love these people. Give me 5 to 10 reasons why I should love these people. And think long and hard. Because last time I checked, I mean, there's no reason to want to love these people that don't love me. Like for example, like, I mean, would you pet a snake?
Do I pet a snake?
So if the snake never bit you, would you pet the rest of the snakes?
I wouldn't really pet many animals, but if there was a snake that's not poisonous, I would touch a snake. If it was poisonous, I would touch a snake. Would I pet it like it's my friend? No.
Okay. Well, how about this? Yeah, let me see. Hold on. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, would you even trust snakes at all? Honestly.
Would I trust a snake? No. Definitely not. I would always address a snake as if it was a snake.
Exactly, and that's how we have to address these these oppressors, because that's really what it is, what it comes down to. Can you read that scripture just for me one more time, please?
Deuteronomy 32 and
32 and 14, I believe. Oh no, I'm sorry, 32 and 7. Yeah.
Remember the days of old.
Uh-huh.
Consider the years of many generations.
Uh-huh.
Ask thy father, and he will show you.
So keep going.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Now, the reason why I brought up this the scripture, right? This precept is to show, okay, in the days of old, right? And the fact that it says remember, because the Lord knows that we are going to forget. It's very clear today in 2025, we have forgot who our enemy is, because we think it's Pookie. We think it's Raekwon, that nigga that slept with your girl. You think it's a nigga that cut you off in traffic. That person that's hating on you on the internet. You think that's the true enemy when it's not, right? You have a very bigger enemy. All right, I like to call him the boss of all enemies, and that is the oppressor. And one thing about the oppressor is, he has never changed. He's always been the same. But for some reason, in the minds of Black, Hispanic, and Indians, something has changed in our mind. That we have somehow, some way, we have amnesia to who we are, to who they are, and everybody is. Like, it's very sad. And that's because we have lost our ways. Once we left the Most High's way of life, we forgot what he said, what he gave us, and we adopted somebody else's way of life. All right? So we left the Lord's house and went into somebody else's house. That's the same thing that happened with Adam and Eve, right? Adam and Eve went against what the Lord said, and because of that, they learned the ways of the other nations, the other cultures and tradition. They knew what drug addiction was. They know what alcoholism is. They know what it means to have sex with the same sex, so on and so forth. That's not something that we were supposed to even know. So when it talks about that tree of good, what is it? Paraphrasing. The tree of knowledge, right?
Of good and evil.
Yeah, the tree of knowledge, good and evil, right? I appreciate that. The what? My brain is all over. But we were not supposed to know what we know now. We were just only supposed to be focused on what the Lord told us to do, and that's it. But because we went against that, now we are exposed to the things that are our downfall, that causes our demise. Interracial marriages, man, is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. People say, oh, you can't help who you love. Love is love. I would be very careful if you are a man, woman, and child of, that is an Israelite. I'll be careful if you say that, because homosexuals say that, and pedophiles say that. Pedophiles say that. Like child molesters say that. Like there are people. I'm gonna get to you in 1 second. There are people that prey on children that say, "I can't help who I love. Love is love." You got this 40-year-old man who says that they love your child in a sexual manner, who's 10 years old. But you tell me that you in love with this white woman, that you love with this African man, and you can't help who you love. Love is love. I see. I see who you are. Go ahead.
A lot of that addition is programming too.
Absolutely.
Programming and being in conditions where these things happen, like relationship with interrelationship.
Right.
Internet.
No. It's an interracial relationship.
Interracial.
Yeah, there you go. You are.
But that happens a lot of brothers, they go to school, or sisters go to school, college, and it's always already going to be dominated by Europeans.
Yes.
Some people get lucky; they're able to afford to get into those positions, but now they're in a bigger pool of other people, and then on top of that, you're in their culture. They dominate in their culture. So you go in and you trying to hang out, and next thing you know, you get picked. You're in a marriage. You're a ball player or whatever the case may be, and you get married to somebody who's basically going to siphon the wealth that should be brought back over to the nation.
Yes,
but I can't. I read the scripture like twice.
Okay.
I can't remember, and it's one of those ones that just, to me, the scriptures that just like really hard to find. But it talks about how we strengthen the hands of our enemies. And how we do that is that monetization, that taxes, all this stuff. When we go out, we pay in taxes. Those taxes go in, and they do wonders for them. Right? And that is where we have to start making those decisions, how we spending our money, and even the little cents that they're taking from it, how do we get out of that? Right. But
no, I'm glad you said that, because all of that is incorporated with that. So once again, so now if we knew better, we would do better. You would think. But some people, once again, are very I like the word that we used earlier. A lot of people are influenced by everything else except for what is really right, morally right. What is absolutely correct. Because so as far as servant of the Lord, a lot of people just kind of be like, well, how come I can't do that? How come I can't just live my own life and blah blah? Because you living your own life, you are not going to be alive. You are going to live a deadly life, and your path and your pattern is going to show you that this is not life; it's death, right? And once again, we need somebody to. We need somebody to give us rules, instructions, because the moment that we lean onto our own understanding, that's where everything goes wrong, right? We need somebody to let us know our place. Not saying just because someone tells you what to do, it's not a goddamn bad thing. It's all about what they are telling you what to do, and if it's actually correct. All right, if it's actually has some substance to it. Okay, like come on, man, a lot of people associate with sin. It looks fun. You partying, you're smoking, you having sex with all these whores or sex workers, and you got this tingly feeling when you have sex with the same sex. It's just weird, But now the thing is, sin is very influential. Having all the baddest bitches, it looks good, it feels good. But at the end result of it, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Child support is going to come through. Child molestation, drug use. The list goes on. It's just broken home. It's so much that's going to happen. Oh, death. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. That's the number one. Ultimately, death is going to be the end result. But however, I guess I don't know how to live life. Me serving the Lord has been the best thing that has ever helped me, because I'm not in prison, I'm not in jail, I haven't destroyed my life. I'm not, I have a beautiful child with someone that is not a whore, someone that's not a heathen, and I'm traveling state to state to wake up Black and Hispanic Native Indians. And I met some amazing brothers and sisters who are not blood related, who are just like family. We are all on the same mission. And no one is wicked. No one is sinning. That's beautiful in my eyes. And also, too, blessings are coming my way. Instead of pain, sin brings you pain and suffering. Like pain comes with that. Punishment comes with that. But the way I'm living my life, now, of course, I have to endure it to the end because Satan is going to come. He's going to try you. He's going to try to fish you out of the truth. He's going to bring this into your life. Right? Cool. No sweat. But you have the Lord who's going to show you how to fight. And with that fight, something great comes out of it. It's not for nothing. You want to fight for the white man, nothing comes out of that. But if you fight for the Lord, he fights for you as well. That's in the scriptures. And something greater comes out of that. A greater reward. You know what I mean? And I'd rather have that because I don't want no problems. I don't want no issues if I can help it. All right? So I'm ended off with that. But also, too, just the last point, right? With Deuteronomy 32:7, this scripture is very important because when it says, ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee, what our ancestors or forefathers and foremothers would have told you is that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. These other nations are out to get you. These other nations are not here for you; they are against you. And what's one proof? Just real quick, Psalms 83, when it says they are confederate against thee. And I'm paraphrasing, against the children of Israel. It literally says that. And also it lists off all the people that are against the children of Israel. And I'm gonna break that down. I can break that down next week, and I can show you with each name that it says who each race of people are. It's so clear cut, and that's a badass chapter. Psalms 83. It mentions every nation that you can think of on this earth that are against you. Now these are not my words. I may seem like a nigga that just don't know what I'm talking about. But these scriptures, I'm telling no lies. All right? And that's what's happening today. It hasn't changed. So 5 years after George Floyd, Memorial Day is still the same. Black and Hispanic people are still losing their life just like this brother did. And the white man is still the devil. And in order for us to make the change, we have to remove ourselves from the way of life of America. And once we decide to hang it up, stop living this American dream, which is really not a dream, it's a nightmare. And it's only for white people too, honestly, when you think about it. The moment that we wake up to reality, then we can start step by step, day by day, and really fix the real issue of problems that are happening in our community to the point where we just only need us and not everybody else. All right? And also, too, on the topic of Memorial Day, I mean, you should keep all the heathens at the door. Nobody is invited to the cookouts. Nobody should be. No heathen should be invited to the cookouts. If you got a wife or a child that is of another race, they are not allowed to our cookouts that we do have in the ISUPK. The next one that's coming up is July 31st through August 3rd. All right, in the Midwest, in Chicago, we have a big cookout that we have every year. All right, this is about our 6th to 7th annual cookout in the Midwest, and then after that, we have some more coming out. I'm sorry, the next one is actually in North Carolina first, then Chicago. But I'll give out that list next week, all right, or tomorrow. So with that being said, that's our time. I want to say Imagine, which means to stand. All right. Let me see something quick. All right. Let's get into the announcements. And then we could just close it out with the salute. All right, because we're over the time. All right, so security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Also, the book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 to 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, my asher. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. A priest fund. It is a free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. So what that means is a priest fund is if you feel like a teacher who is teaching a class is doing so well and you want to donate or make a donation or have a gift for them, that is acceptable. It is a free will thing, meaning it's not mandatory whatsoever. By the way, like everybody in the school down there give each other gifts all the time. But once again, it's not mandatory. Okay, that is a choice of your own doing. All right. Upcoming holy convocations. Right. So a convocation, memorial, or a Sabbath, high holy days is the holidays that you will find in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. However, what you're not going to find in there is Christmas, Memorial Day. You're not going to find 4th of July. None of that. You are going to find the days of the Most High. All right. And we have the Feast of First that is coming up. Next week, and we'll speak more about that tomorrow and throughout this week. And we actually got a flyer that's all over our social medias you can check out. So if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. So with that being said, we are over the time, so we are just going to get into the salute. All right. You know how to do it, or you can get you. I got you. All right. So feet together. So many Israel, my Shabbat. I imagine Barak, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Athah. So what we just said was the Most High in Christ pray and watch over this brother or brothers, so to speak. All right. Yazmatah, which means your hand at your side. And all that I'm saying is Hebrew, and I can explain that to you. I still got a paper that I can give you tomorrow or next week. All right. So courtesy salute for the sisters. Many Israel, my Shabbat. I imagine Barak, Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Athah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Yazmatah. Class dismissed.